Greetings, mortals. My name is Barsana, and today I'm going to be presenting some mythological characters. Let's go!
Hades, the unseen, also known as Pluto to the Romans. Hades belongs to the first generation of Olympians, being the brother of Zeus, Poseidon, Hera, Hestia, and Demeter. He allotted the dominion of the underworld. There are 3 different territories. There is Tartarus, for the unfair and criminal souls, fields of Spondylus, reserved for the people who weren't the worst or the best, and the Elysian fields, for the fair and honored people, or the heroes. He had a hound named Cerberus, which guarded the gates of the underworld. Hades also possesses a helmet that renders the wearer invisible, which he lends gods and men to use. In one of the legends, Hades carried off Demeter's daughter Persephone after she picked a flower that caught her attention away from the water nymphs she was hanging with. When Hades abducted her, Demeter went about seeking her daughter all over the world, carrying torches by night and day. During her search, she did not allow the earth to produce any fruits, and so Zeus ordered Hades to send back the girl. Hades obeyed, but gave Persephone a seed of pomegranate to eat so she shouldn't stay long with her mother. Not knowing about the effects of the seed, she swallowed it. Because of her eating some seeds of a pomegranate in the underworld, she has to now divide her time between being in the underworld and being with her mother. The significance of Hades in literature and culture is that he brought a new concept of the underworld and shed light on the idea of good and evil. Demeter, meaning Earth Mother, was also known as Ceres to the Romans. Demeter was also a first-generation Olympian, just like Hades. She was the goddess of agriculture, grains, and fertility. She had control over the harvest. She could cause plants to grow or not grow and had control over the seasons. She lived on Mount Olympus, often depicted holding a torch looking for her daughter Persephone. A mythos of Demeter's is when Persephone was first taken by Hades. Demeter wandered the world disguised as an old woman mourning and searching for her daughter. She stopped at Eleusis. One man was particularly kind to her and took her in. As a reward, she taught his son, Triptolemus, the art of agriculture. According to Greek mythology, Triptolemus then traveled across Greece on a winged chariot, teaching the Greeks how to grow crops and farm. Another tale is when she rewarded a kind man. She tried to make his baby immortal by placing him in the fire. The mother, however, caught her in the act and pulled the baby from the fire. She also cursed a guy because he cut down a sacred oak tree. She made him so hungry, he ended up eating himself and died. Demeter's significance in literature is symbolic of the changing seasons and a mother's love. Hera, the protectress, also known as Juno to the Romans, was a first-gen Olympian, goddess of marriage, childbirth, and woman. Her brother, and future husband, disguised himself as a wounded cuckoo bird. When Hera saw this, she rescued the bird and held it closely, only to see that she was holding Zeus. She was forced to accept his hand in marriage. She also transformed her guardian Argus, who had 100 eyes, into a peacock. Argus's feathers were a mark of heaven's beauty, and its eyes represent the stars in a firmament. One thing is for sure, that she is a very jealous and vengeful goddess. The tales of Hera include Zeus and the women that Zeus was constantly with. She would punish a lot of these women and their children when she found out about them. She disguised herself as Semele's babysitter and placed doubt in her mind about Zeus's true identity. Since she was mortal, Zeus's radiance scorched Semele to death. She also sent a biting fly to torment Lo, which Zeus turned into a cow to hide her from Hera. Hera's special punishment for Leto was that she would not allow her to give birth to her twins Apollo and Artemis on solid ground or anywhere that the sun shone. The worst punishment she ever gave out was to Hercules, son of Alcmene. She prevented him from being born when he was supposed to, making him unable to be the next ruler of Argos. She tried to kill him by sending 2 poisonous snakes, and when he was an adult, she cursed him with madness, making him kill his entire family. To top it all off, she threw her son Hephaestus off of Mount Olympus because he was quote-unquote ugly. Hera's significance in literature is symbolic of loyalty, that being that she was driven to commit vengeful acts, but she always remained faithful to Zeus. Last but not least, we have King Midas. His name means the ability to gain success or financial reward from one's actions. In this case, it was he turned everything into gold by touching it. To sum up King Midas' tale, it begins with him encountering a drunken satyr. Midas was sympathetic towards the satyr and extended a hand of help towards him. He offered the satyr company and engaged in a casual banter. After the satyr was better, Midas returned him to Dionysus. Dionysus was exceptionally pleased with the king and granted him a wish as his reward. After pondering over his prospective wish, Midas asked his wish to be that anything he touched should turn into gold. Dionysus granted his wish, and the king touched things to see if they turned into gold. Little did the king know that literally everything he touched would turn into gold. Even his daughter and the food he wished to eat turned into gold. Acknowledging his mistake, he prayed to Dionysus to undo his wish. Dionysus agreed and urged him to bathe in the water of Pactolus, so a golden touch could be washed away. Also, there was a musical contest between Apollo and a satyr named Marsus, in which Midas was one of the judges. He picked the satyr, and Apollo turned his ears into donkey ears as a sign of foolishness. The significance of King Midas in literature is symbolized by greed, being careful of what you wish for, and appreciating what you already have. And that is all today, folks. Thank you, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.